So the company that was doing mechanics liens for you as a repair shop all of a sudden disappeared, or they're not answering your calls, or they're taking months to get your paperwork done. Why is that? What changed? You had some go-to place. Well, a mechanics lien, for those who don't know, is a process that a licensed repair facility can use to get their bill paid. If somebody brings a car to your shop to get a transmission fixed, and you give them a quote of $2,000, they sign a repair order authorizing you to do the work, and then they don't pay their bill, you can use a mechanics lien to get your bill paid. One of the ways you can get it paid is by selling off their car. But a mechanics lien is not a way to get a title by itself. It's a way to use a title to pay off an existing debt. What are the important things you need to know? First of all, you have to be a licensed automotive facility in your state. Second of all, you have to have a signed ink signature on paper authorization to do work on the vehicle. Text message doesn't count. Email doesn't count. Phone message doesn't count. You have to have a signed repair order with a dollar amount that that person gave you to work on the vehicle. Second thing is, if you're doing a mechanics lien, now first of all, if you're not a repair shop, you can maybe do a civil lien. We'll talk about civil liens here in a minute, but mechanics lien is the main focus of this video. Next thing you have to do is you have to do a certain time period. If the person brought their car in the shop, you got a quote, they signed it, you fixed it, and they didn't pay their bill, you have to abide by very strict timelines. You have to file a mechanics lien within a certain period of time. Could be 6 months, could be 8 months. Sometimes it has to be within 60 days. But you also can't do it too soon. You have to give them a certain period of time to pay their bill and redeem themselves. Then once you start the process, you have to send out notices. You have to send out written notices to the owner and lien holder to the exact address that's on the title record, not the address on their driver's license, not the address on the repair bill, not the address you found in the car or what they gave you over the phone. You have to send it exactly to the address that the DMV has in their records where they live. If they've moved from there, that's okay. That's not on you. You have to send it to the record. How do you get that record? First, before you do anything, you have to file a records request to the DMV to get a printout of that title history. If you don't do that first and you send out notices, the DMV, when they get your package to get a mechanics lien, they're going to look at the dates, when you got the notice, when you sent the letters. If the letters went out first, they're going to void the whole thing. You won't get your title. So do it in the right order. After you send out the notices, you have to put a publication in the newspaper saying you're willing to take bids for the vehicle. Now, you don't have to accept the bids, but you have to be willing to look at them. And each one of those steps you have to wait a certain period of time in between, 30 days, 45 days, depends on the state, also depends on how valuable the vehicle is. More valuable vehicles, you have to wait longer. Once you're all done with all the steps, you have to take the whole package, your repair bill, copy of your business license, the notices you sent, the printout from the state with the title record, remember that? Copy of the ad in the newspaper, an affidavit that you held a bid session, and a title application. Put that package together, mail it to the titling authority, the DMV, and they'll issue you a title. Now, what's going to happen when they get it? First thing they're going to do is they're going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Why are they doing that? Because they know that there's a lot of mechanics lien fraud. There's companies out there, little body shops that need money to pay their payroll, that say, look, if you have a car you need to get a title for, you bought it on Craigslist, you bought it on eBay, give us the VIN number. We'll put through a fake mechanics lien. Pay us $400, $500, $600. We'll do a fake mechanics lien, get you a title, no problem. The DMV knows this is happening, so what they'll do is they're going to audit every single mechanics lien. Make sure you have a signature from the owner. Make sure your notices went out right. Make sure that whatever agency or whatever company is putting it in, a body shop, doesn't have too many of them going in every week or every month. Because if somebody's doing this for a living, doing fake mechanics lien, they're going to have 5 or 10 of them a month, where if they're a small body shop, they shouldn't have that many. So they're going to audit this. They're going to contact that owner and say, hey, did you bring your car into the shop for transmission? They're going to go through all that, and if they find any anomalies, they'll just kick it back. Now, getting back to the first question, why is your mechanics lien guy not doing this anymore? Well, here's the reason why. Most states have made it a requirement that the actual licensee, the person with the repair shop, the person with the business license, does some of the steps. You have to sign the letters that go out to the people. You have to actually place the notice in the newspaper yourself. You can't pay somebody to do it. Why is that? Well, at the end of the day, when you sign the form that is the affidavit of facts of what you did, you have to sign saying, I personally did X, Y, and Z. I personally send out the letters. You can't pay somebody else to do it because they want to make sure that you're doing it correctly under your license. As the licensee, you have to take these steps. Nobody else can do it on your behalf. Now, somebody can prepare all this for you. This is what we do. We print out all the forms, the letters, the applications, and we send it to you. And then you just sign it and mail it out when you need to. It makes it a lot easier, but nobody can do the whole process for you. And there was a lot of companies that knew that was the case, but kept doing it anyways, but they're all getting shut down. The DMV licensing authorities are going into these companies and saying, stop. What you're doing is illegal. If you keep doing it, you're going to get fined. You're going to get, a regulation against you or a enforcement against you. So that's why these companies aren't doing it anymore. So if you're a repair shop and you have a genuine mechanics lien, you can have some help with it, or you can do it yourself. Just make sure you're crossing all your T's, dotting all your I's, because they will audit that package to death. In fact, we see about 40% of the packages that people do themselves to send in get kicked back because there's something wrong with it. So make sure you do it right so you don't get kicked back. You don't get under investigation for putting through fake ones. Even if they're real, if you don't do the paperwork right, you might get on a red flag list to be, let's say, watched more closely in the future. Mechanics liens, that's the way to go.